Welcome to Unit 5 of Speechcraft Fundamentals. In the first 4 units, you learned how to come up with a clear message, you learned how to structure your points around that message, you learned how to come up with points and a structure when you don't have a clear message, and you learned how to develop a point properly. Before you can get to your points, though, you need to open your speech. Every speech needs a strong opening, and in this unit, you are not going to learn how to open your speech. You'll see what I mean. As I've said many times, within the first 7 seconds of your speech, your audience is going to determine whether they like you. And within the first 30 seconds of your speech, your audience is going to determine whether they want to hear more from you. And yet, I have seen many speakers squander that important time. And they don't even know that they're doing it. You may have done it yourself and thought you were doing nothing wrong because you were doing exactly what you were taught to do. Well, today you're going to be untaught. You're going to learn 3 ways that you should not open your speech. So it's kind of fitting that I opened this video like that. Not only are we on Unit 5, but these are 3 things that you need to stop doing. The first way that speakers love to squander their opening is by reintroducing themselves. I'm sure you've seen this before. You go to a convention or whatever, you're sitting in the room, the MC says, "Your next speaker is going to teach you how to be an effective storyteller. Please welcome to the stage, John Andrews." Speaker gets up there, the applause dies down, and then the first thing he says is, "Yeah, my name is John Andrews, and today I'm going to teach you how to be an effective storyteller." Yeah, we know that. That's literally the last thing we heard. In fact, we probably knew that already because when we got to this convention, we got a program that said 10 o'clock, effective storytelling, John Andrews, room A. And then when we got to room A at 10 o'clock, we saw a poster on the door that said, John Andrews, effective storytelling. Then we heard the MC say it. The last thing we need is to hear the speaker say it. So do not waste the audience's time by telling them things they already know. Get to the stage and get on with it. Another way that speakers love to squander their opening is by thanking people. Soon as they take the stage, they say, "I'd like to thank the organizers for having me here today," or "I'd like to thank you for listening to me today." Remember what I said. In the first 7 seconds, your audience is going to determine whether they like you. And in the first 30 seconds, your audience is going to determine whether they want to hear more from you. I'm so happy that you're filled with gratitude, and you should express that. I'm just saying, don't do that at the beginning. Do that in the middle of your speech somewhere. Don't waste those opening 7 and 30 seconds by making your audience think, "Oh, come on, get on with it." This next way to squander your opening is really an extension of the previous way. If thanking people is 2A, then acknowledging people is 2B. For some reason, people are taught in Toastmasters that as soon as you get to the stage, you're supposed to acknowledge everyone in the room. It's taught, it's expected. You get up on stage and you say, "Madam Chair, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests." And that's bad enough, but I've seen it get so much worse. You get to a graduation ceremony and the keynote speaker's got to acknowledge everyone in the room. Class of 2020, staff of Riverdale High, distinguished guests, relatives, honored dignitaries. What are you, taking attendance? I would love just once, after all these acknowledgements, to have somebody stand up and leave thinking, "Well, dang it, I'm in the wrong room. I'm none of those things." Look, start your speech with the assumption that everybody who's in the room is supposed to be in the room, and everybody in the room is there for a reason. Right now, they're there to hear you, so get on with it. And I saved this one for the end because it's such a common piece of bad speaking advice. I bet you've heard it millions of times. You should open with a joke. You should not open with a joke. And here's why. I have heard a lot of jokes in my life. So when I hear a speaker open with, "A man walks into a bar with an ostrich," I think, okay, I've heard this one. Let me just check my email for a little bit and I'll check back in when he's done. If you're telling your audience a joke they've already heard, you are giving them an excuse to tune out. So don't open by retelling a joke you heard from a comedian or you got in an email forward. Because if you tell your audience a joke they've already heard, the joke's on you. Repetition for the sake of emphasis now. Within the first 7 seconds of your speech, your audience is going to determine whether they like you. Within the first 30 seconds of your speech, your audience is going to determine whether they want to hear more from you. So do not squander those 7 and 30 seconds by telling your audience things they already know. Do not squander those 7 and 30 seconds by thanking people or acknowledging people. And do not squander those 7 and 30 seconds by telling your audience an unoriginal joke that they have possibly heard before. This all should raise the question, how exactly do I open a speech then? That is an excellent question, and I am so glad I asked it. You will get the answer to that question in Unit 6, the next video. I just wanted to make sure that if you have developed any of these bad habits for opening a speech, you break them now. Keep it tuned here to lastrites.com for more speaking tips. That's last-writes.com. And together we, that's you and I, we will lay boring speeches to rest by giving them the last rites.